All right, gang, welcome. Getting a little bit off to a late start. Andy went a little bit long, and that man, he's intense. Man, preaching the gospel of investing in your business in all kinds of ways, and that's man, all those stories, all those old stories, man, are true. Back when we didn't have leads, we were just getting the leads off the ground. What's amazing, back in the day when we got started, was we'd have virgin areas where no leads were ever developed. And so when we put a request into mail for a number of agents that we hired, it would take 6 to 8 weeks for lead flow to get going. So we had to keep those agents going, and many we'd hire would quit. So we had to keep replacing them until the leads start coming in. And then pray to God that we still had agents left in that area when the leads started coming in, or else we'd have to eat them. You know, I mean, those were the old days. Now it's like an embarrassment of riches when you see all the leads out there, which is just insane. So it's so true. And there were the pink cards. These pink cards, our leads used to be in these pink cards. So we got a bunch of these pink cards, and these were like the real ink where they filled it out. You know, they actually. I wonder if I dialed any of these leads. These are back in like 2002, 2003. Let me see. I don't think we had dates on these. Oh, 2000, 8/23/2000 mortgage date. Yeah, these are like first year, July 3rd, 2000. 18-year-old leads, baby. Who wants some of these for Ohio? Yeah, those are the great days. We used to do our training on cassette tapes. And I actually have videotapes. I have VHS videotapes. Fits on the phone, all the objections. This is classic. This is Andy Albright. This is good. Oh man! So you guys have no idea how good y'all have it. And I sound like the old guy, but man, don't take this for granted. You have no idea what it's like. It's a target-rich opportunity for growing and building this thing. It's in total insanity when you think about it. What we're able to do in the business with our lead flow. With all the leads and inventory. So, man, no truer thing can be said that you have no idea what's in your hands as far as how great the business can be for you if you're willing to kind of put forth the investment and the work. And it's work, man. You got to step it up and work. So, really, I hope you sense Andy's urgency at amping up everything that we're trying to do, amping up the work, amping up the lead investment, amping up the association, getting around the people to keep you going, to keep your tank full. Because when you're running 100 miles an hour, you got to keep that gas tank full all the time. When you're running at 25 miles per hour, you know, the tank doesn't need to be as full, right? And you're not going very fast. So it's almost like, you know, this downward spiral. So, man, crazy. See, I got 7 people on. Usually these calls are based on building. And I probably should do this really on my agency conference call. I was going down one road, but then I'm thinking, got a couple things. Okay, I'm going to cover this one topic. It's real. I think it's the key to closing. So this is going to be a sales thing, and so let's kind of go into it, because I think it came out last night at the Cincinnati meeting. One of my buddies, Will Perry's talked about him going into a slump for a couple weeks, 3 weeks. He hit Buck, I think, in the month of August, I think he issue paid like 22,000, 23,000. And then in the month of September, just couldn't get his mojo going. It was just having trouble. And he was talking about a Cincinnati meeting last night, which I just totally appreciate him talking about it. But he just was going all these appointments, just like he booked a ton of appointments, would just barely get any appointments closed. I think like 1 week he said he booked 14 appointments, and he might have gotten 2 or 3 applications out of it, and just was really running into this brick wall. What am I doing wrong? And then he decided, yeah, I need to talk to Tawny Carey, Jason Carey. I need to listen to more stuff. I just need to go back to basics. What am I not doing that I was doing before? And what he realized, this is just brilliant, and I love that he shared this, because what he realized is he wasn't doing the upfront contract, okay? You know, and he watches, he gets a lot out of my videos, and so I'm going to try this. Lord have mercy. So what he was doing is, you know, just like our sales process, you know, you got the bond and rapport, then finding their pain, this is pain, upfront contract, okay, and then the fulfillment step. Oh man, post-sale. What he was finding out he was doing was he was forgetting this, forgetting the upfront contract. In other words, he was good at building bond rapport, okay? And then he'd find their pain, really drill down. And he listens to my pain video all the time. That's the one he just over and over again, the pain questions, asking the pain questions. And then from there, what he was finding he was doing was he was skipping, he'd go from pain to doing the quotes. And he didn't do the upfront contract. And he'd walk out house after house after house, not closing, not taking care of them. And then it was like, oh, it was this realization that he left this part out, the upfront contract, right? And it is in the ATM. It's what happens next slide. That's the upfront contract. What that means is, that's a Sandler sales term, is that you tell the client what's going to happen. You found their pain, you drill down to get their emotional pain going, and then you tell them what's going to happen next. It's the contract. It's, okay, because you have this pain, I'm going to do this for you, and this is what I expect you to do, so that we can get the outcome of you protecting your family and getting rid of that pain that you have, right? And that's the upfront contract. You got this pain, I'm going to take care of it, so I'm going to do this and you're going to do this, and then you're going to get the outcome you'd like, and that's the contract. If you aren't agreeable to this process, then I'm out of here, right? I'm walking away. I'm not going to show you rates. I'm not going to, unless you agree to my process, right? So the process, so when he realized, oh my gosh, do you see, you can be the greatest pain finder, but if you're going straight to showing rates, rates don't close the sale. Commitment closes the sale, and getting commitment from the client is the purpose of the upfront contract. What happens next slide, right? So let's talk. And if you think about the reason why you're not closing, I promise you it's probably that. It's probably the upfront contract. So basically what you're doing in the upfront contract is, okay, you find their pain, and it's so important because it builds one on the other. You can't find strong pain out of them unless you ask hard questions, and you can't ask the hard questions unless you build strong bond and rapport and trust, right? So when you get trust and they feel like they can trust you, and that they feel like you're going to help them, then you can ask them the hard pain questions as to why they need this and what would happen if they didn't get it. Well, what problems would their spouse go through or their children? And then once that becomes emotional, then you could do the upfront contract and get their commitment that they want to take care of their problem, that their problem's important enough for them to move forward. And how do they move forward? They move forward on our terms. See, their terms, moving forward on their terms means steal your rates and then let you go home, tell you they want to think about it. Ta-ta, thank you, you're an awesome salesperson, we'll call you. And they never call you, right? So the pain process is mega important to get a commitment that something's going to happen based on what they told you, unless they are lying. Okay, so it happens like this, and I draw it out. I like to draw it out in front of them. I take the back of the lead, and I say, okay, you find their pain. So the important transition sentence, the important transition word is you identify their emotional need, want, desire, their pain, what they're trying to solve, and then your thing, what comes out of your mouth is, Joe and Mary, that's why I'm here. I'm going to make sure that never happens to you. Okay, you've anchored the feeling of resolution of their pain with you. That's why I'm here. I'm going to make sure that situation never happens to you. Okay, so let me tell you what happens next. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask you a bunch of health questions, and we're going to be filling out this request for coverage form. I mean, you can call it application, but we're going to request coverage to see if you qualify. So we're going to fill out some health questions, okay? Once I know what your health is, I'm going to present to you 3 options. And you're going to pick one that best meets your needs and budget, the one that you feel like you can afford, and that will take care of your problem, the reason why I'm here. Okay, once you pick that one, we're going to send that application to the insurance company. And what they're going to do is they're going to think about you. They're going to think whether or not they should approve your request for coverage. So Joe and Mary, tonight is not a think about it night. Tonight is not making, the only decision you're making today is what coverage you would like to be approved for, and then we're going to send it in to see if you will get approved. So really, Joe and Mary, there's nothing for you to think about until you know that the policy is approved. Okay, so the company's going to think about you first. And when they think about you, and if they accept it, okay, then they're going to send back to you a policy. And then when they send that policy back to you, I'm going to come and I'm going to open it up. I'm going to explain it to you. And I'm going to see if everything's in it that you want. And at that point, you can determine if you want to increase your coverage, decrease it, if you feel comfortable that the price is right where you want it to be, or if you need that premium lower or higher, whatever. But at that point, then, we can think about what it is will be perfect. We'll refine it to exactly what you want. Or if it's perfect, awesome. We'll just, I'll explain it to you and tell you all that's in it. Okay, now, on the chance that it doesn't go through, then I'm going to come back and I'm going to show you some other options, because we have 15 different companies that we can get you covered with. So we're going to try the best we can. And then if for some reason something pops up on your health history, right, then, and they won't approve it for this particular policy, I'll come back with another one that has a lot more room for more health conditions, and then we'll see if we can get that one approved. So it becomes this iterative process where, we're going to get you the best by going through this. Now, I like you guys, and if it were up to me, I'd love to be able to approve this for you, but I can't do it. We have to go through this process. Is this process good with you? Then you shut up and let them say yes, no, maybe so. At this point, this is where you want to find all the objections. You want to find out if they're wishy-washy on their commitment to take care of their families. You find out if they got any more questions for you. This is where you want to surface any objection, because any unanswered objection is a cause for you not to take care of them that night, right? So you got to be firm in your commitment that if they don't agree to this process, you're going home and you're packing up. You're not showing them nothing. You're not showing them prices. You're not begging for a sale, because then you become a beggar. And no one in our system is a beggar. We don't beg for sales. We serve people, and we got to determine if they deserve to be one of our clients. This is the part where the rubber hits the road. This is where you honor your business and your commitment to be a professional person that takes care of people that love their families. Like some people say, I'm there to make a friend. Gang, I don't make friends with people that don't love their families. If they don't love their families enough to want to take care of them right then and there, then they don't need to be my friend. I make friends with people that love their families. So I didn't go there to make a friend. I went there to serve someone who deserves to be served because they love their families enough that they want to take care of them, right? And if they don't, then I'm out of there. But Alex, don't you show them rates? Don't you? It's like, Joe, no, rates don't close the sale. Man, if I have said this once, I said it a million times, your stupid rates don't close the sale. Solving their pain closes the sale. Making them make a commitment to take care of their family through our process closes the sale. If they don't commit to this, then you need to get the heck out of Dodge. Like sometimes I'll give them my car, sometimes I won't. This, to me, is one of the pivotal moments of whether or not you should walk out or you should stay. It's like, what is it? Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers, Should I Stay or Should... No, that's The Cure. No, the Cure? Should I Stay or Should I Go? The Ramones? I forgot what. Should I stay or should I go? Whether you stay or should go pivots on the upfront contract. What happens next? They don't agree to this, you're out of there. I can't pound it enough. Many different ways you can do it, but this is the way. This is one of the ways. Another way is, hey, Joe and Mary, okay, let me tell you what happens next. We're going to fill out a request for coverage form, and then once I get your health information, I'll be able to figure out the right company, and we'll come up with 3 options, premium options. You're going to pick one that meets your needs and budget, and then we're going to send it in to the insurance company, okay, to see if it will get approved. Now, tonight's not a think about it night. In fact, there's only 2 reasons. I don't use this one a lot, but there's only 2 reasons why people want to think about it. Okay, the first reason is you don't like me, and if you don't like me, I would hope that you would tell me, then I can get another agent in here that you like better. And then the second reason is it's too expensive. And if you want to think about it because it's too expensive, then I would ask, actually there's 3 reasons. So let me backtrack. It's like I don't use this one a lot. So the first reason is you don't like me. And I would hope you would tell me if you didn't like me. And I apologize for that. Maybe I can bring someone in there, in here that you like better. The second reason is maybe the prices I show initially might be too expensive and you don't want to tell me it's too expensive. Look, I've got other options that are more affordable if it's too expensive. Like I said, I got 15 different companies. So can you promise me that you'll tell me that it's too expensive rather than tell me that you want to think about it? Okay, is that okay? You get them to say yes. Now the third reason people tell me they want to think about it is they don't understand what I'm talking about. They don't understand how this is going to help them. And what I would ask you is, can you tell me can you not tell me you want to think about it, but tell me that there's something you don't understand, and ask me whatever questions you need to feel comfortable that this is a good approach. So Joe and Mary, is that sound good to you that tonight's not think about it night? And then boom. So you could use one of those two ways of doing the upfront contract. I like the first one because I like saying tonight's not think about it night because we got to get the insurance company to think about you. Or you can do, Joe Mayer, there are only 3 reasons why people want to tell me they want to think about it. So, and then you tell them the 3 reasons. And so can I, can you make a promise to me that you're not going to tell me you want to think about it? Because tonight's really not think about it night. And then you shut up and let them say yes or no. So those are like the 2 upfront contracts that I've used and that, agents have used for years. 19 years I've been in this business. That's the upfront contract. Even before the ATM, the upfront contract has always been there. And this is where the rubber hits the road. And this is what I find where people don't close is because they're too weak at trying to get the commitment. And they're scared because they're scared the client will say, well, I'm really not interested in following that process. I'm just really wanting to find rates. Well, dude, you can't just close them on rates. They're shopping you. So get out of there, man. Get out of there. You're not going to close 100%, right? So that's the upfront contract. And what I love about Will is he said exactly, figured it out. And as soon as he figured it out, just this week, he closed like a couple sales before our hotspot meeting. So it's interesting. We also talked about, he talked about something that Jason and Tony suggested is that after every appointment, you journal what went right and what went wrong. And I told Will that something I've always done is after every appointment, whether I closed it or not, I mentally do a checklist of how I did on bond and rapport, how I did on pain finding, how well did I do the upfront contract, how well did I do the fulfillment, showing them the rates, how well did I lock it down on the post sale, how well did I do in all those 5 phases. And mental checklist, whether I closed it or not, could I have done this better? Could I have done bond and rapport better? Could I have done the upfront contract better? And as the day goes on, as I run appointments, I always get better because I'm thinking about what I could have done better between appointments, right? I don't just say, woohoo, I made the sale. Then I go into the next appointment thinking I'm all that, right? That's almost like what happens is you're hot, you close, and you think you got it all together, and then you go into the next appointment and you forget something like the upfront contract. You don't do it. You just go straight to shown rates, and you forget to get the commitment because you think, I'm so good, or just mentally or subconsciously, you feel like you can just go straight to the cut to the chase because you're hot and you're just writing app after app after app instead of going through the ATM process, right? And so we talked about that, and that's why you do the mental journaling after every appointment. What could I have done better? What could I improve upon? And then it's magic how that mental process will improve your next appointment. Does that make sense? So upfront contract, man, do not leave it out. Always keep it in there and get stronger at it. It will determine how you honor your business and how you feel about your business. And if you elevate yourself to a sales professional versus a beggar. Sales beggars in our business don't make money. Sales professionals do. And you get to decide if you follow the ATM process that you're the sales professional qualifying clients to determine whether or not they deserve to be your client. The best closing rate of my top people in my 19 years of doing this has been right around 70% of the people they sit down with, they take care of. So our lead program is probably only as good as a 70% close rate of people you sit down with. Now, don't get faked out because other agents measure closing rate by how many applications that they wrote against how many appointments they sat on. Like if they wrote 10 applications and they sat on 10 appointments, they say, oh, I got 100% closing rate. It's like, no, that's not how it's either you close it or you don't. You sit in a home and you either take care of them or you don't. I don't care how many apps you wrote. Yeah, actually, the number of apps per home is right around 1.2, 1.3 apps per home. So statistically, it'll happen. But for me, the closing rate is, did you take care of that family or not? So out of 10 homes, if you took care of 7 and wrote 10 apps, you have about a 70%, you have a 70% close rate, which is about what top people do. 7 out of 10 people you sit down with. A brand new person, you should get about 55% close rate on people you sit down with if you're brand new. And then it starts marching up as you get more training, you get more association, you get into the NA University videos and really learn your craft by coming to hotspot meetings, right? So, man, get this upfront contract down, get this commitment down, what happens next slide down. This will be the key for you to uncover objections so that you can move on and help them, or figure out that you're in front of a pretender, really, you know, a pretender who says they want to protect their family, but they really don't, because they don't love them as much as you love your family, right? So anyway, gang, that is the upfront contract. All right.